All right, welcome to another edition of the Franklin Community High School Career Exploration Project. With us today, we have Sarah Steuber, and she is the Business Support Specialist at Bastain Solutions. Sarah, thank you for joining me.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
All righty, of course.
Yeah.
Anyone who wants to volunteer, I will interview them.
Yes.
So, Business Support Specialist at Bastain Solutions. Tell me a little bit what you do and kind of how you got there.
Sure. So I'm a business support specialist for our autonomous group. We automate forklifts. They drive autonomously without the person on there. So my job every day is I pay all of our vendor invoices. So any purchase orders that we have to send out for equipment or inventory we have to purchase, I do those, and then I pay that invoice that happens to come along with it. We take customer orders, so little small, they need service parts for their forklift that broke, so they need to fix it. So I take their purchase order that they send us and I create an order in the system. I process that from start to finish, send it to my inventory specialist, and he pulls the parts and ships it out, supply chain. Then we have project management that I do. Right now, we currently have 85 projects going on, and I do all the project financials for that. So basically, it's like an accounting position. I do make sure the guys stay within budget, the team, the engineers, if we go over, it's where they post their timesheets for project work. If we're over, like, why did you go over, update the forecasts. And then I do all the customer invoicing for the projects as well. So it's like, wear many hats every day. You don't do the same thing every day. You try and work on one thing and you get pulled into 5 other things. But basically the job, in the simplest terms, is accounting. So you're doing accounts payable, accounts receivable, invoicing, all that stuff.
Right. So as far as like education and training, what kind of education and training do you have?
Sure. So my background is in communications. I got my bachelor's from
IUPUI.
IUPUI, thank you. And then honestly, probably a business degree would be great, or accounting degree. But I just kind of fell into this position. My start was I graduated college, and it took about a year to find a job. So at the time, I was working at a restaurant, just to pay bills and things. And we had this customer come in, this older couple. They were so nice, and they talked. We talked to you every day, talk to me, and they ended up finding this job. They're like, "Hey, we know somebody," so it's all about connections. And so I'm like, "Okay, I'll apply." So I applied for this job at a dealership, a Raymond dealership, which is a forklift dealer. They make the red forklifts. And I started there in 2011, I think. Yeah. And then from there, so that's how it grew. I just continuously progressed through job roles and moved from the Raymond side to Toyota and worked at their corporate headquarters down in Columbus. And then by chance, the group I was with, we went to Bastain Solutions, and now I work in Indianapolis. So it's just a progression. I've been in material handling for 10 years now, and when I graduated IUPUI with a communications degree, did I ever see myself in the forklift industry? No, but here I am, and I love it. So life's crazy. It takes you on crazy paths.
It's interesting because a lot of the interviews I've done, I'd say 98% of these interviews, people have gone on different paths. But with yours, it's kind of, you highlight what so many people have said. It's all about like the connections, who you know. And then a lot of times companies like yours will teach you the skills that you need to know to get the job. So you've got what amounts to an accounting job, and you never was any accounting type classes.
Right, correct. I probably took a couple of e-com classes, and I think that's about the extent of accounting, that if you even call that accounting. But yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. They'll just you just need to find that one person who will help you out there. So
yep, exactly.
So we talked about kind of what led you to this, just the people and making those connections. And it's obvious that it's something, you talked about you really enjoy. So what are some of the things about it that you enjoy the most, and what are a couple things that you're like, yeah, I could do without this?
Sure. Well, one thing I love is the fact that it changes every day. Like you don't do the same thing every single day. Um, it's nice to go in with a plan or a schedule or like, task list, but you could be totally thrown off from that, but you still feel productive and like you accomplished something at the end of the day, regardless if you didn't check off everything on your box because you got pulled into something else. Um, I love the group I work with. They are an awesome team. I support them remotely. I've been with them for 6 years, 7 years now. So that's really nice just to have that family-like atmosphere, and our culture is really nice. So, and then things that I could do without is because it's an accounting position, there's lots of deadlines. So month end is always very crazy. So there's lots of long nights, you working, you know, 10, 12, 13-hour days sometimes. It just depends, just to make sure everything's tied up. Financials are all closed up for that month. So when everything is done on the back end, your business unit and your group looks good because you've, earned all your revenue you could and you've, checked off all the boxes. So that's one thing is just, the stress sometimes is a lot and just late nights.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, all those numbers coming to a head at the end of the month probably
Yes.
get you
Yep.
sometimes. You just dream of numbers.
Yes. Yeah. I dream of this job more often than I'd like to admit. Yes,
Just becomes your obsession, if
it
you
does.
will.
Exactly.
So with your job, you obviously enjoy it. With your personality and characteristics that you have, what are some of the personality and characteristics that you think make you successful at this? And what are some things that this person's characteristics like this would maybe they would struggle in a position like this?
Sure. I think being friendly and outgoing, being a team player is huge on this. Even though I support an office, remotely, we have a team of people that we work with every day, and we are constantly jumping in, helping each other. Hey, can you grab this? Or hey, can you do this for me? I'm swamped. Or hey, I don't remember. Can you help? And like, I think team playing and like being a team player and engaging, being kind of outgoing is very important. Someone who is more introverted probably wouldn't work very well because it is a very fast-paced job and you're constantly on the phone or you're constantly reaching out email and communicating, collaborating, what can we do better, how can we fix this, etc. So I mean, I think if you're introverted and a little bit more like to yourself, I don't know if it'd be a great fit, but um, also when you find the right people to work with, they can bring out, the good in you too, and you can be way more outgoing as well. So it just
Right.
depends.
I gotcha. Um, and let's say someone wanted to prepare for a career similar to what you have. How would they best prepare?
I think the best um, thing to prepare for a job like this is definitely take like a business course, major or minor in business and accounting. Definitely have an accounting background. I mean, I was lucky enough to be able to just kind of float into the position because of experience and everything. But, if I had gone to school for accounting, like I think I could even be even more next level. Like it'd be, but there is still, despite that, there is still so much potential for growth within the company and to move up. So that's wonderful too. But if you're focusing on anything for this type of position, I would recommend business and accounting.
Yeah. Okay. Last one. Gonna
Sure.
get you out of here on this one.
Okay.
I mean, just general advice for high school students. Just anything, doesn't even have to be career oriented. Just think back to when, 2 or 3 years ago when Sarah was in high school. What
You might want to times that by like 5. It's been a while.
oh, I guess okay. So what's some advice that you could give to high school students? I prepped you for this question,
I
so
know you did. Be kind, and I know it's so easy to say it, but don't sweat the small stuff because things now that you think are very important um, are minimal in the grand scheme of things. And I know everybody in high school is so excited to grow up and be an adult. And it's It is great. There are so many amazing things, but don't get ahead of yourself and enjoy your youth, and try not to have any regrets. So I think, just don't sweat the small stuff and be kind and enjoy your youth and enjoy this time because it is very special. So
Yeah, absolutely. That's great. Great advice. You get something in your mind and you don't want to just keep thinking about it over and
yeah,
over again. You just want to kind of keep it out of there. So,
exactly.
once again, thank you, Sarah, so much for your help today. This is Sarah Stuber, Business Support Specialist at Bastion Solutions.
Thank you.